Holiness is something that is, there's a lot of confusion surrounding the subject of holiness. Holiness is not what you do or don't do. Holiness is not what you eat or don't eat, or what you wear or don't wear. Has nothing to do with actual holiness. Although when you are holy, there are certain things that you will do or not do, or things that you will abstain from. The word holiness simply means to be dedicated, to be set apart, to be consecrated. You can be consecrated. You can be separated to many things. You can be dedicated to making money. You can be dedicated to sports. You can be dedicated to a hobby. You can be dedicated to many different pursuits that will not make you holy. But kadosh, holiness in the Hebrew, means to be dedicated unto God. And God, the Bible tells us that God is love. So to be holy simply means, if you want to boil holiness down to its very essence, means to be dedicated to love. And when we are dedicated to love, then we will be holy. The Bible tells us that love works no ill to its neighbor. If we love our neighbor, we will do no ill to our neighbor. And Jesus put it like this. He said, the whole keeping of the law is simply this: love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, thy soul, thy strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And when we are dedicated to first loving the Lord with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and dedicated to loving our neighbor as ourselves, then we will be holy. Holy will be the consequence. It is the natural consequence of being dedicated to love. I heard someone say recently that you cannot worship God and sin at the same time. And that is so true. If you are worshiping Him and loving Him, then you cannot sin at the same time. Because you will be so enraptured and caught up in love with the Lord that holiness will be the natural consequence. If you love Him and you are worshiping Him, you're not going to violate His law. If you are worshiping Him and loving Him, you're not going to do any ill towards your neighbor. And so holiness is simply being dedicated to love. And so I challenge every one of us today that we would focus on Him, that we would separate ourselves to love Him in everything we do with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength.